Alright. Hello, YouTube. My name's Eshir, and today I'll be boring you about Factorio. This is my self-made jank that I have hand-built myself, even though I could go on the internet and download somebody else's blueprints. I didn't. And I'm playing Space Age Factorio. It's brand new to me. I've never played it before. So I thought I'd sit here and talk about it for a second. Show off what I built so far. And then as you can see in the top right, I just started into the actual space part of this. And I just made a save so I can load from right about here anyway. This isn't exactly your atypical run of Factorio, not a normal start, because I have set this to this is a rail world preset with expanding biters turned on. And as you can see, the biters have indeed expanded. And the idea was that I would set up trains everywhere, but thanks to some really big coal patches literally right next to where, let's see, here's the spaceship, and some really big patches of resources right next to it. I haven't really gotten around to doing trains just yet. And the patches are ridiculous in size, so I don't know what's wrong with the default settings. But that's fine. This is fine. I made it to space and I hate it. Anyway, I want to show you how I started. That's actually at the very beginning of the game. Let's start here. Yeah. This was my humble beginnings. With expanded enemies turned on, I increased the starting size of the map to its maximum slider bar setting, so that way there are no biters around for quite a while. So that way I didn't have to deal with it. This ore patch still exists because I haven't tapped it yet. There's the uranium, the starting oil, the copper that I'm still using, and the coal that I'm still using. So that patch is gone by now. Same with that one. This one's still in use. That coal patch is gone. This is my humble beginnings. It turns out you can get a lot of science done with just this setup and hand feeding. And I do mean a lot of science. Let's see here. I've gotten let's scroll down. Look. This is everything I've done so far. And I purposely went straight for advanced material processing and electric energy distribution, steel. I kind of rushed these out, or tried to rush these out. At some point during Factorio, you stop rushing and just start setting up everything. This is a whole bunch of jank that I set up. Yeah, there we go. I purposely didn't build furnace stacks at all until I had steel furnaces. and then I intentionally set them up with two long-handed inserters with two belts going up the middle because I've played this game once or twice before, and one of my biggest regrets is never setting up the furnace stacks with enough space. So when I, or enough space between the belts or around it or any, never enough space set up. Didn't space it out enough, and when I went to inevitably tear it all down and rebuild it, I never had enough space to rebuild it, and I never actually fully tear it down and actually rebuild it. I just build a new one somewhere else. And like way past bots, eventually I need the space and I end up ripping it all down and deleting it. So this time I actually thought ahead for once and did build enough space. And I think I like this design that I did. There's always room for improvement, but for just going off the cuff and kind of just spacing things out, I think as much as I could within reason. I could have like uh, you know, made a belt that like extended out even further if I needed more space, but this was good enough. And I think if you do this in your start of your game, when it comes down to the inevitable tearing it down and rebuilding it, this will give you enough space. And I've also intentionally left enough space in between these two, or I left a whole bunch of space to fit another one in between these. And then this is my design philosophy going forward: is just when I build up or another furnace or build up uh, an assembly line, I try to leave enough space in between, or try to leave a big gap in between, because you always need more room on either side of your build for things that you unlock and research later on in the game. So this was my humble start. And then, as you can tell from my save game names, I progressed. Let's see where I am now. Went straight into steel and I actually started setting up a mall because because I didn't need to set up science immediately. I just went straight into building up my main bus and a mall, and just started making everything that I will need to carry myself through the game. Still no biters. Let's see here. I haven't really made too much progress at this point. I finally got around to making science, and I made sure to space out the labs. I should have, in hindsight, I should have pushed the labs further down, or maybe like routed them to go up instead. Oh well. I was thinking about this iron patch at this time, like where I'm gonna space everything out. I wasn't thinking very hard, obviously, but I was kind of thinking about it. Also, I missed this little patch of uh, copper that drove me crazy at one point. Science. Oh god, I'm gonna have to fix that later. Oh well. Blue science is always a nightmare for me because before Space Age came out and you could mix all the liquids together, which I didn't know about when I set this up. Yeah, anytime I had to, or every time I have to set up blue science, I just kind of quit the game for a little bit because I just don't want to. Hmm. Science has come along well. Oh yeah, military science. Let's take a look at the research tree at this point. I'd say I've gotten down there fairly good. Oh, man, just before oil and blue science and stuff. Cool. Oh yeah, I made a lot of progress here. Once you finally get around to doing blue science, and then you're like, fine. Once you get over that part. Oh yeah, and the biters finally decided to pay me a visit here. Luckily, I've made it. I really like the setup I did for this because starting out with that the starting area bar maxed out gave me a lot of time to set up my jank without having to deal with BS, which I liked a lot. Finally got around to tapping this patch and then setting up the jank to this is why I left so much space in between everything so that way I can spaghetti through some belts and start setting up this. Still have not upgraded the copper furnaces yet. Well, there was no need to yet. Here's my plastic production. I finally broke my design philosophy and went, I'll just make something quick and dirty. Sulfur and plastic setup. And I thought, I could just expand these up to the north, maybe. Yeah. Or I could set this to expand somewhere. I originally intended to be able to expand this, but now that I look at it, probably gonna have to set everything up somewhere else. Oh well. The little train that could barely get me any oil. I was so oil bound for so long. Well, let's look at the tech tree. Where am I? Yeah, just before doing space platforms, and I could do uranium and stuff. Okay. Let's look at pots. Oh yeah, audio wise. Let me know in the comments below if my audio settings are uh, terrible, if I need to change any of this. Because I'm just kind of winging it, because I'm an adult and I don't have time to play video games anymore. I only really have time to go to work and come home and go to bed. But I managed to find some time to play this game I like, so neat. Finally starting to deplete the coal patch here. And the iron's all gone from my first patch. Starting to make solar panels. And the biters are really starting to creep in now. I was really starting to think about it like, oh god, I really have to start defending everything. Because with the expansions turned on, they just start advancing and it starts becoming a problem. It wasn't, it was like an ever-present fear in the back of my mind dealing with the biters, but it wasn't like, it wasn't constantly being under attack and unbearable at all. It was really easy. I had lots of time to deal with biters. Let's take a look at where I was at this point. There's the lubricant, sulfur, or sulfuric acid, I should say. And anytime I have to split off of the main bus here, I intentionally make the splitters go down one, do an underground belt there, and then send everything north. I've set, for the most part, when I want to make something, I try to leave some space in between each build, and then make it infinitely expandable to the north. Well, I say infinitely, but realistically, you could probably only expand up to like 48 machines before the belts will be depleted, so whatever. And then here's my god awful, I give up, I just need bots right now build. Oh yeah, and then the quality modules. I started looking at what quality would start doing, and it was like, oh, I could put that in stuff. And that was before I had the terrible idea to put chests or put them all into or when I upgrade to electric smelters and put them in the electric smelters and stuff, and that was its own nightmare. We'll get there. Yeah, I think that's everything here. Let's move on to the next save game. There's the next load state. Science progress doesn't look like I made any. Haven't even got to the uranium yet. I still haven't done anything uranium-wise in the current playthrough, or the current part. Hey, I finally made power armor though, and I was trying to make like rare power armor to get a bigger equipment grid, but I managed to get a blue exoskeleton. Nice. And a portable solar panel that's blue. Super nice. I finally got bots up and going, and explored more of the map a little bit. The biters are becoming a little bit of a problem, but they still aren't attacking very much. I still have lots of time before they actually become a real threat. And then I eyeballed this over here and went, I've been oil bound for a while. Had to change the train schedule over here a few times to get the train to actually uh, bring in oil. Oh, right, and this jank. Oh, man. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out why this wouldn't work. Turns out, this circuit condition, what it's supposed to do is read the contents of the heavy oil, and if it's over a certain amount, 5,000, if it's over 5,000, it's supposed to put out a signal. Turns out, don't use that signal, but also click on this one so it puts out a constant number 1. And then, instead of using this, and now this should work. It's one or the other, I can't remember. I like how I say it should work and then it doesn't. Nice. Well, theoretically it should work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong now. Oh boy. Why aren't you working? Whatever, I figured it out I figured it out later, so I'm not gonna mess around with it now. Just know that that was a problem for a very long time. And on to the next save state. Spiders are starting to become a concern, but not a problem. They haven't started attacking. Hmm. I finally made it over here. Set up this oil. Notice that I've got a rare pump jack and that it resource drain is at 66% instead of what a regular pump jack drain would be. And I've also got, okay, so there's a normal pump jack, there's an uncommon pump jack, and then a rare, so it was really worth it to get that rare one. I started expanding my power grid. Power at this point in the game started to become a real problem. So I had to start doing some jank over here. And laser towers for everything because I'm not running ammo belts all over this spaghetti mess. Oh yeah, and I set up a train for coal and then promptly stopped using as much coal. That was a waste of time. Whoops. I finally started making electric furnaces and upgraded. This was a well, it was kind of a mistake setting up quality modules because guess what you can't remove? Like this. Or, yeah, I don't think you can. I guess I should test it first. But I'm fairly certain I can't remove modules in a deconstruction planner. I don't understand why this can't be a thing. I can't just set up a I can't put modules in here. I would really like to be able to put modules in here so I could pluck modules out instead of having to go through painstakingly one at a time and pull both modules out. And believe me when I say painstakingly I did this, I went through and pulled all of these out by hand one by one because these chests filled up. And then it completely stopped, as you can see right there. The plates are not going into the main bus. And I didn't discover this problem until many hours later. And that happened for everything. That was fun. Oh yeah, this was my initial science setup. Mm, I guess we haven't looked over here in a while, but I tried to I tried to keep all the ingredient or the similar things together as I was setting them up. So like all the rail stuff is together, trains and all that. So it's all in one spot. So if I need one thing, I just go over to where it is and get it. Red circuit setup. This actually served me really well. My design philosophy of just making everything expandable to the north if I need to make more of it worked out pretty well so far, I gotta say. Even this jank worked out pretty good. This is where I'm pulling gears from for the roboports. The spaghetti's starting to take over because I just needed bots and I didn't care anymore. Mm, yep, concrete and all that. Or, yeah. I should probably start or putting this all around to walk around on, but I just can't be bothered. Oh yeah, this is woefully terrible. I haven't played Space Age yet, so I didn't realize how much of this I would need. I have no idea at this point how to do anything from the new rocket launching stuff to anything really. And the let's see the encyclopedia about how to do the space platform is kind of not really help. Well, I mean, I guess this one's the most helpful, but I didn't really understand any of this. We'll get there. I still don't understand most. Well, I kind of understand it better now, but I really didn't understand what I was getting into or anything at all about space stuff. Like I said, oh, I finally made it to uranium, so that's cool. I noticed there's an achievement here, and I'm still trying to go for it. I've played this game a couple of times, maybe once or twice. Where is it? Oh, no, no, no. Oh, right. No, no. There's like it's called what is it? Straight to space or something like that, or race to space. That one. And you researched a science pack too early. What? Before unlocking Before unlocking production or utility science packs. What do you mean? Oh. Oh no. I had to hold off on doing that. Oh man. Ah shit. Well, I was gonna do that. I just had to not research those to get that achievement. Well, today I learned. Why- I guess I can go ahead and set those sciences up now in my actual game. Alright, cool. That means I'd have to reload, like, clear back to down here. I'm not doing that. Oh no. I'm gonna have to do a whole other run just to get those achievements. No. Oh no. Oh no. I have to go all the way back to before bots and oil and blue science. Ugh, I might as well just start a new game with no biters at all. Great, great, just great. Cool. Anyway, let's just go on to the next thing. I just wanted to show off. the progress I've made so far. I can unpin that now. This is the next save I want to see. And I've actually walled in everything. And I've set up robo ports to defend the wall or to repair the walls. Actual laser defenses and like, let's see here. I think was it this one I just? Okay, so I went from ready to rocket to space. So this is before setting up all the defenses. Spiders haven't really been a problem at all. One or two attacks. Yeah, more than one or two attacks. There've been multiple attacks, and I have set up a defensive line, but for the most part, I've gotten an alert every now and then that a laser turret or something was firing, or a gun turret was firing, but nothing being damaged really. And I was prepping to send rockets over, and it kind of went, maybe I should actually defend myself and set up walls and stuff. So it took me a while to get that first rocket silo up. And the neat part was, I thought I was gonna belt all of these resources all the way over here and set up rocket silos in this area. And nope, that wasn't a good idea. Anyway, then I went to space. So in order to initially, if you don't know how to set up a space platform initially, like I didn't, because it's not very well explained, you build your rocket silo, you build your space platform starter pack, and if you're like me, you automate it. Rocket silos, space platform starter pack. You pick one of these up. You walk over to your silo. You place this into there, and then you click on build new space platform. And then you get a map view. It kind of takes over, and you watch a rocket launch to space. And then you kind of go, okay, now what? And nothing really happens, and you have no explanation of what to do. And you go in here and you look at this, and you go, huh? What? What am I? How am I supposed to? How do I set this thing up? What do I do? I don't get it. Huh? Yeah. That's kind of what I did for a while. And then I realized I gotta click on this. And oh, humble beginnings. So I went through here and I set up a few of these things. And basically you just start, it's like building with bots from the map view, but you just click on your space platform and you start building up a factory floor basically. And you have to build up a whole factory floor first in order to place stuff on it. And then you start having to put, you know, as you put stuff down to build, it gets requested. They start sending requests for construction. I start sending those requests down to the rocket silo. And then this checkbox right here that gets checked, or you should check, will start requesting like a logistic requester chest. And if you're like me and set up everything available to the robot network, or the robo network, then that's great, because then your logistic bots will start supplying whatever's needed to the rockets. And then you can start building your space platform. And I don't know why they couldn't put that in 2 words like I did. So I had a devil of a time figuring that one out. Just open your map, click on your platform, plop down whatever you want. No chests. I wonder if I can build a robo network. Okay. I don't suppose there's any need, but um, yeah. Hmm. Anyway, where am I? I'm right here, and now I have this save, and this is currently where I am. And as you can see, space platform thruster just finished. And I do mean just finished. So from here on in, I have no idea what to expect from the Space Age DLC. And this is my current dilemma with Space Age. And I realize I'm gonna have to redesign everything just so much all the time and constantly. And I just hate space right now, so I've kind of I kind of just gave up basically, and I'm now just stalling for time before I have to redesign everything because I just don't want to. I already redesigned this a little bit, but what I have to do is tear all this down, space it out more, and then build these basically all the way around this space platform, so that way they collect resources from every side. And I have them filtered right now, or else they just fill up with one thing and then you don't get what the other things you need. And then I have to put them all basically in a sushi belt and have them wrap around to these crushers. And I just don't want to do that because the term sushi belt just hurts me in all sorts of ways that I just hate. Yep. Anyway, I have no idea what direction to go from now because I just realized I ruined the only achievement I was going for. Nice. Finish the game within 40 hours. No, that will not be happening. 100 hours. I really doubt it. Not building requester chest is gonna be a nightmare. I could do it, but I probably I'll do it later in that other run when I go. Now that I have to retry and go for rush to space and then start artillery one. Neat. Yeah, now that I have to do that, I guess I'll go after some of these achievements in a whole separate run. Cool. All right. I have no idea which direction to jump. Ooh, yeah, I need recycling. Hmm. Ooh. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna go set up purple and yellow science and do all those researches because I could really use those by now. And then I'll continue having a nightmare of space and have another update video later. Yeah, that'll do. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.